Body bags were horror lies.
Hello and welcome to Body Bags. My name is James and I'm your Sunday night reviewer. And this evening I'll be finishing up our theme week, which for this month was Hammer Horror. I was actually going to do a different review tonight. Went to watch the film and there's the Satanic Rites of Dracula, and it's disappeared off Prime, which is slightly annoying. So I was having a rethink of something to watch, and I was like, what kind of pops to mind with like Hammer horror and things that are kind of prevalent, that always like pop into my mind. And there's this TV series, Hammer House of Horror, and a particular episode that always sticks out for me is the Silent Scream. This has Peter Cushing and an early role for Brian Cox in this. So I think he was in his well, not that early actually. It would have probably been in his early mid-30s actually for this film. For this episode, yeah. This is a TV episode that I'm actually going to review. Now, anyway, our episode starts where Brian Cox is actually a released convict. So he's done his time in prison. We have our character Peter Cushing that apparently he likes to help prisoners. He like gives them money and things like that, and helps them kind of almost get back on their feet. In this kind of, he lives in this small village, and it's he's actually owner of a pet store. And what we kind of learn pretty much immediately is that he has this pet store, but underneath the pet store is this kind of what appears to be like a private zoo, but it's not a zoo. So kind of for exotic animals, it's like lions there, and there's leopards, black panther, things like that. Kangaroos, yeah, it's a mixture of different animals. And yeah, he's kind of training them. So he's got this, so they're all in cages, but then there's all these openings, and it's these electrified fence basically. It's like an electrified force field. So yeah, the animals know that it's there. He does this buzzing system, so when he rings this bell, the animals know it's dinner time. Rings it again, they know that the fence, electrified, invisible fence force field is back on. But anyway, Brian Cox goes to visit him to say thank you for the money and kind of support through prison, and he offers him some work to help feed the animals. Being an ex-convict, so he's helping out, he's doing this feeding, and he keeps looking at this safe that Peter Cushing has in this pet store. And okay, you know, it's like a ruse sort of thing, and he tries to get to it, and it's a trapdoor, and he gets stuck. Yeah, and then so what's happening to the animals is happening to Brian Cox as well. When he came out of jail, he's gone back to live with his girlfriend. His girlfriend knows where he is, so she's like, well, she's trying to find, she has an idea that he's there, and she's going to the police to kind of get help. But then she's like, she goes herself, because the police don't really believe the situation, because they know he's an ex-con. I think he's just out on the lash, getting pissed, drinking alcohol, getting drunk. So she goes and breaks in, and she actually finds him, and she's trying to help him, and Peter Cushing pushes her in, and then that's the kind of, they have to kind of get out together, which they managed to do. Okay, I'm going to go into a little bit of spoilers here. Basically, they escape he allows them to escape, but also when they're escaping, Black Panther comes out and kind of yeah, he's kind of like, I don't know, for some reason he opens the trap door where he kept Brian Cox and the girlfriend, and I guess he wants to try and catch this leopard in there, but he ends up falling in. Brian Cox sees it and he leaves him in there. It's like, fuck it, that's his payback. But what they don't know when they go back to the girlfriend's house is that he's rigged up their house. So not only are they stuck in the house and they cannot get out, but Peter Cushing, the one person that knows where they are, he's stuck in this steel box. No one knows he's in there. So it's kind of a really dark episode. It's like it's really claustrophobic. But yeah, you have these like really dark, sinister kind of thoughts with this film. And we actually find out that Peter Cushing, at an earlier point, he tells Brian Cox that he was in concentration camps, but it transpires that he was a warden in one of these. He wasn't a prisoner, and he devised this plan. So this security thing is to kind of almost like a brainwash kind of. It's for like prisoners, so they'll just stand there in these electrified areas and they can't move and they can't escape, so there's not going to be these huge prisons and stuff like that. Yeah, and it's like really sadistic how he is. He's like, we all know how Peter Cushing looks, and he plays on the fact he's this little frail old man, but then he's this really sinister bastard character, and it's really good. And Brian Cox just plays this like almost mindless oaf. He has some clever bits and pieces, and it's a really good balance between the two. Yeah, and then how the girl, I can't remember the girlfriend's name, but when it's really good balance between these characters, and really well acted, of course, as you'd imagine it would be. And we even get some barbecued puppy at one point. Of this, they're trying to escape. I won't like give everything away, but like I said, this was like a really dark kind of episode, and not a happy ending at all. And I just really, like I said, when I think of Hammer, I always think Hammer House of Horror, one of my favourite TV series. The year I was born, 1980, and this was, I mean, I do enjoy the series, but by far this is the standout episode of that. And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Like, I'm guessing if you've not seen that, you've probably not seen any of the TV series. So I highly recommend checking out Hammer House of Horror. It's like really good. You can get the DVD cheap DVD box set. There's a Blu-ray box set of it as well. And I think you can even see most of the episodes on YouTube actually. So I highly recommend checking it out. So apologies that this isn't the Satanic Rites of Dracula, which is what I wanted to do, but me leaving this kind of particular review to the last minute, I was going to relax and watch it, and then it's all gone to pot. But I watched this episode again and really enjoyed it again. It's one that, like I said, it's high up there for me, so I recommend you guys check it out. Okay, thank you very much. I'll catch you next week. Okay, bye bye.